In this episode, Donna Presley offers a thoughtful reflection on questions that open a deeper window into Elvis's world. With calm honesty and clear perspective, she brings context, clarity, and the quiet truths that sit behind stories often repeated but rarely understood. What follows is a considered conversation that offers insight into moments that continue to be discussed and revisited today.
Hello everyone, I'm Donna Presley, and I'd like to welcome you to the Donna Presley official YouTube channel. Well, it's that time again for another question and answer series. So, let's get started. Okay, first question is from User Kid. What do you think is the reason for Jerry Schilling not speaking more about Elvis? Jerry seems to have a very close relationship to Priscilla. Do you think they might have dated? Jerry always looked out for Lisa. Was this out of genuine concern for Lisa? And do you think Jerry spoke well of Elvis to Lisa? Well, as far as Jerry and Priscilla and their relationship, I know that they've been very, very close for many, many years, even when she was married to Elvis. There have been rumors that they might have had a relationship. I can't swear to that one way or the other. I just know there were rumors. I do know they're extremely close and have been for many, many years. I'm sure that probably maybe Jerry felt real concern and cared for Lisa. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't, because she was a lovely woman and a wonderful little girl, although she could be quite precocious like her dad. But I don't think that, in my opinion, I feel like Jerry has pushed himself into being much more important in Elvis's life than he ever really was. I don't know how close in loyalty he was. From things that I've seen and heard out of Jerry's mouth himself and during different interviews and so forth, I think he said some things that were, I would say, disloyal to Elvis in a lot of ways. So that's the way I feel, and that's what I've garnered from not only my own visual attest, but also from family members and what they've said. And as far as he and Priscilla, as far as I know, they're still extremely close today. So thank you for the question. Okay, the second question is, I understand that Elvis and Priscilla were not married by a Catholic priest. Do you know if that ever seemed to bother Priscilla, and did it bother Elvis that they were not considered married by the church? Thanks in advance. I love your story about Elvis and my little boy. Well, thank you for that, Lily Ann. Priscilla, since I've known her, since I was about 13 or 14 years old, she's never been one to be concerned about the Catholic religion or any other religion, to be honest. It was never a priority for her. I do know that since she married someone outside the church, and unless she got the bishop's blessing, which I don't know if she did or not, it's possible that her parents took care of that for her. I don't know. Or perhaps she took care of it when she was at the Immaculate Conception, or went to the priest there after she graduated from high school at IC. But it never seemed to bother her, no. And Elvis was Assembly of God. He was raised Assembly of God, and so he wouldn't, I don't think, exactly being terribly concerned about that situation, especially considering the fact that Priscilla wasn't, and neither were her parents. But there again, her parents could have asked for permission from the bishop. I wouldn't have any way of knowing that. Thank you for the question. Okay, next question. Did Elvis, this is from Priscilla, did Elvis ever visit his twin grave, or did it have a caretaker care for the grave? Well, Jesse Garon was born in 1935 and died in 1935, was stillborn. So I don't think that there was, especially for impoverished families like Uncle Vernon and Gladys them were, I don't think that that today you could actually even find Jesse's grave. And if they did know of a particular place, I don't know that they would want that really known to the public, because there are people, unscrupulous people out there who might try to do something. And so for that reason, there would not be a caretaker and not even a grave marker that I know of. But I do think that they did try to search for it, and whether they found it or not, I don't really know. But I know they would have kept it quiet had they, because they wouldn't want anything. I mean, we all know that when Elvis passed away, there were people that tried to break in and steal his remains. So I think that they'd be afraid of that with Jesse as well. And if Elvis, I know that Elvis visited Tupelo on many occasions, but whether he went to the gravesite or not, I don't know, if they knew where it was. Thank you. Okay, next question. Okay, Kimberly Wood. I agree with you about Charlie being the one that was the most loyal from the Memphis Mafia. But what about Joe Esposito being another? I know for sure that Jerry wasn't one. In the making of Elvis, it appeared that Jerry was Elvis's right-hand man, when in reality it was Joe. And they wrote him out to make Jerry be the closest. Well, that's true. They did. Now, there was jockeying for position among the Memphis Mafia. Everybody wanted to be the closest to Elvis, of course. Joe ended up with the role of the road manager, so he kind of took the hierarchy place there in that respect, as far as business-wise. Charlie definitely would have been the most loyal, in my opinion. I've known Charlie since I was a kid, and I know that he loved Elvis, and I know he loved the entire family. So he was definitely the most loyal. I found Joe to be, in my own personal experience, a little arrogant, and so and always kind of never really had much to do with the family per se. So I can say that. But yes, as for the fact is that Priscilla and Jerry have always been extremely close, and their narrative has been the one that's been given for the past 48 years. And not only family members have been written out of Elvis's life, but so have some of the other people that were involved in his life. So yeah, I don't think that was cool either, and it's erroneous and wrong. And that's why I do what I do. I'm trying to write and give out the true narrative, not the narrative given by people that were in position or power to do so. So that's my opinion, and that's the way I feel, and that's why I'm trying to do what I do, to make sure that it's all known. Like I said, there were people, inside the Memphis Mafia. They were all kind of vying for position, and I think they were, most of them, not all of them. There were some really good guys besides Charlie, and there was Al, and there were a couple of others that were, I felt were really true to Elvis. And but then there's the rest that weren't so loyal, and have said terrible things about Elvis since he passed away, and that they should have known better, in my opinion, because those things were given to them in loyalty and in love. Anything that was said was in loyalty and love to them, and that they should have kept that to themselves, because trying to take away a man's dignity when he's no longer here to defend his dignity and defend his life is wrong, no matter who it is that's doing it. So that's just the way I feel. So thank you so much, and thank you for allowing me to answer that question. Okay, here is another one. Hello, Donna. This is from Jackie. Hi, Donna, and hello from Northern Ireland. I love your channel. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jackie. After Vernon passed, were Minnie Mae and Delta living Minnie Mae and Delta were living at Graceland. Did they have access to upstairs? And if so, did anyone try to stop them when it opened to the public? Aunt Delta had the keys to upstairs. She was always allowed up there, and she always maintained that. She always maintained the keys and so forth, as far as my knowledge is concerned. Because I know that she went up there. I've gone up there with her myself. Grandma would have absolutely had access to upstairs had she wanted to go upstairs. But it's not something that she really wanted to do. But she always had access to any place in the house that she ever wanted, for sure. And that's always the way it's been. Because she's been with Elvis from the very, very beginning. And he loved and adored her as she did him. So, yes, they did have access. So thank you for the question, Jackie. All right, here's the next one. Without a song. Dear Miss Presley, I recently visited their Graceland mansion. It was an unforgettable day, much as the day of Elvis's death, though for different reasons. My question is, were you ever on the second floor of Graceland and visited Elvis's room, Lisa Marie's room, etc.? Thank you kindly. Yes, I have been on the second floor. Yes, I have visited Elvis's room. As I think, and as I pointed out in one of my other videos, I spent the night there in Elvis's, not in his bed, but in the conference area with his room that was attached to his room. Anita and I spent the night there one night, and that was the night that Elvis called her, and she got really upset with him because she found a picture and a letter from Priscilla. And so he sang She's Not You to her over the phone, which I thought was really smooth. Even though I was a kid at the time, I thought, that's pretty smooth. But yes, I have been upstairs. And in the early years, Grandma's room was on the second floor. It is what is now Lisa's room. So yes, I stayed at my summers. I stayed there upstairs in Grandma's room with her, which was on the second floor. So thanks again for the question. Okay. All right. This is from Becky. Donna, did you have much to do with Ginger? No, Becky, I didn't. Of course, I was around her whenever she was there at the house, and the family was all around and gathered together. I never had much to do with her. I met her. I knew who she was. But we didn't communicate. We didn't talk or anything like that. My feelings and my thoughts are from, my own personal watching of Ginger and, what other family members said. But, no, I never had much to do with her. So there you go. Okay, let's see here. All right. This is the last question. This is from Lily Ann. Hello, Donna. I have a question. I recently heard from an old interview with Connie Stevens saying that she dated Elvis for a while, but being stuck in the house with the fellows wasn't her idea of fun. To your knowledge, is that correct? And do you know how long they dated? Thank you for your Q&A sessions. Well, that's something I've never heard before, that Connie Stevens and Elvis dated. I'm not saying that it's not true. If she said it, I'm sure it probably is. She was a beautiful woman, and Elvis loved beautiful women. So it's quite possible that they dated, but that would have taken place in California, and unless they came and stayed at Graceland for a period of time, then I wouldn't have met her. So I don't know how long they dated, but I'm sure that they would have made a very striking and beautiful couple, because she's a very beautiful woman. And from everything that I've seen of her, she was a very sweet and kind person too. So they would have made a good match, however. Okay, guys, that's enough for today. That's as you can tell, my throat's a little raw. I've had a touch of laryngitis in the last week. So it's been a little struggle today to talk. But I hope you enjoyed this session. I know I did. Thank you for your questions. And you just keep sending your questions, and I'll keep giving the answers. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. And until next time, God bless.
Thank you for watching. Stay with us as we continue this journey of truth, bringing clarity and understanding with love.
I am proud.